How we feeling? How we doing? How we looking, people? Yes, the time has begun. I am Solo Dolo. I know a lot of you guys love Zachary, but he's on holiday now. He's watching the Oklahoma City Thunders win their first championship, I guess, as an organization. So we're going to respect that. We're going to be doing a Dynasty startup mock draft today, but say what's up if you are in the chat here. We'll love to see you guys coming in and trickling in here. Obviously, once again, I know a lot of people love Zach. So I think a lot of our live streams are going to be a little bit more intimate now, which is okay, because that means there's going to be a lot more opportunities for you to talk shit, a lot more opportunities for us to get a little bit crazy. But that's exactly what we want to see, right? That's exactly what we want to do here. You're going to see how I like to run things a little bit and go a little bit crazy. You can finally see me in 1080p, which is great, because when Zach does my image, like he takes, so what happens is that we get together, right? And we get together on Discord, but he takes my image, but there's no way I can get my image 1080p. So now you can see the crisp, clean me with all my little settings here. But we appreciate you. Love, what's happening? Joe, how you doing? What's happening, Styles? Joel as well. Uncle Fresh. Zeno, how we doing? Edward, how we doing? Scribbles, Morts, Tiny Goose. Hey, we appreciate you guys. All love. Once again, trickle in, and we're going to be doing a Dynasty startup, and of course we do have spots to do team playbooks as well. We have one live team playbook. Oh, by the way, I should probably go live on this, you see, and there's a lot of things that I'm going to be doing solo dole for the first time here, so you're going to have to bear with me. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me sometimes, and I'm going to put that link because I can do that. Start stream. Okay, we are live, which is awesome. So right now it looks like we have let's see how many we have live for you guys here. Let me, once again, you're gonna have to bear with me because a lot of these settings are gonna be new here for me. Okay, all right, we have a couple team reviews. Obviously we're not gonna jump into those as of yet, but we have DRK is definitely a live team review if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to my reviews here. Once again, if you guys see your name PS14, you're going to be receiving your playbook today. Scam Ward, yours today. Berkey, yours today. I'm going to be doing Perfects today. Dre's today as well. If I think Prime Time, we're going to be doing today as well, since we gave him enough time. Bird Game, if you're out there, we're still waiting on your sleeper ID. So please let me know, because we're trying to get a little bit more information. But DRK, we're going to do a live review today, and so is Port Dogs. We got 2 more extra spots here for this live team review, but of course let's get straight into what we really want to do, is a Dynasty startup mock draft here. And if you guys want to join, all you have to do is join our Discord. Okay, join our Discord, and I'll put that link in the chat. Okay, that Nightbot is going to put that link in the chat, and all you have to do, right, is go to the let's our mock draft tab, and I'm going to put it here. It says a link will be sent here. That's what I'm going to say. Link will be sent here on this tab. So once again, join our Discord, go to the LAN tab with the orange footballs, then go to mock drafts. That's how you can join each and every mock draft. Okay, and it's going to be first come first serve, 12 team. I did do the 3rd round reversal for you guys, so that is good. And I'm going to send that link out here in 3, 2, 1. There you go. So let me know how you guys go with that here. Yeah, I gotta get these practice in for sure, Styles, because I just need to. Let me see if I can get your guys's live chat up as well. I think that's something that I need to do. Make sure we can get you guys going as well. Let me know if you guys get that link. And let me refresh here, because I don't see anyone coming in unless I sent the wrong link. Did I send that wrong link? You let me know. You let me know. Unless nobody wants to join, that's okay. I'm pretty sure I sent that link out to the right one. So You guys let me know, but I need to make sure I get this all sorted as well for the live chat, so you guys can see that live chat. He says you're on the phone and it's not working. He says I don't see it not working. Okay, let me just refresh this and I'll try and send a new link out. Same, I don't know what's happening. Okay, let's try this again. Because what I can do, I'll probably send another link, a same link. See if that one works. If not, I'll refresh it. I'll make a whole new link as well. So let me know if that's not working. This is what I'll do. I'll cancel here. We'll just open up a new tab as well. We'll go to mock draft. Still nothing. Okay, we'll go to private. We're gonna do 60 seconds Dynasty startup, third round reversal, full PPR, and then we're gonna press continue. Okay. So then let me claim my spot first. All right, I'm gonna send another link out. You let me know if this works, okay? And if not, then we'll just result to sleeper. All right, I'll send that link out in 3, 2, 1. All right, it ends with 10446. 10446, and if not, then we'll just go to sleeper. Not working. Okay, we could do sleeper then. Let's go sleeper. Of course, it doesn't work when I'm here. Just classic, isn't it? It's just a classic. All right. And then as this is coming up here, let me change some settings. PPR, linear. Let's do 12 team. Let's do 60 seconds. It was a Dynasty 2 quarterback, right? Save. Oh no, we want to do PPR. That's how you know I haven't done this in a while. But what we'll do is add Superflex. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can add another wide receiver spot, tight end, 2 flex, and we'll take this away. Okay. Update. But what we want to do is Dynasty PPR, 60 seconds. And then how can I add the third round reversal? I think that's it. Hey, roster setting? No, it's not roster setting. Draft order. How do I do third round reversal on here? And we'll put we'll put 625 Dynasty startup mock. All right, it's on linear, right? Okay. Look, what I'll do, once again, I'll send a link out here, and then we can figure out, we can always change third round reversal. Right, okay, so draft order, snake, and then toggle. Is there a toggle? Yeah, okay, you're right. Awesome. All right, once again, guys, if you want to join this mock draft, all you have to do is join our Discord. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Go to mock draft tab. That's where we're going to be sending out these mock draft links for you guys to join. It is first come, first serve. And I'll send that link out here in 3, 2, 1. There you go. That's a new link. That's a sleeper link there. We finally got there. So appreciate you guys once again, a little bit more intimate here with us as you guys are trickling in. And yes, I am going to be practicing for these Brooklyn leagues, which I'll give you a nice little sneak peek here on some of these Brooklyn leagues. So I have the Manhattan League coming up. That's the next one that's coming up for us. I have the 4th pick in that draft. No trades have been made. I think there has been a couple trades been made in, I think, the Queens and Bronx League, if I'm not mistaken. I have the 5th spot in the Bronx League. And then in the Queens League, I have the 12th spot, if I'm not mistaken. And this is where the trade has gone down. Woe is Kev has made a couple moves, have 2 first-round picks there. So that's awesome. That is awesome there. All right, so let me close these tabs out. Okay, and then we can come here. And this is our mock draft. And then I see a couple of people saying, too fast, no practice for me. All good, Morts. I need to change this to, yeah, Dynasty. Is it Dynasty 2 quarterbacks or just Dynasty PPR? Dynasty 2 quarterbacks at fixed ADP. Yeah, that's what I did earlier, and people were like, nah, don't do that. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. We're going to start this draft here in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Got a minute on the clock, and then we can change it to 30 seconds there. But we finally got there, guys. We finally got there. It says, yeah, I need to practice. Let me set up this chat as well, man. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. So I can see you guys on this. You know how we have that chat feature come up all the time. So let me try and fix that right here, right now for you guys. And then let me go to this, fit the screen. It's probably because I have to put it on top. There we go. All right, we got that sorted, but now we just need to move this here so we can get you guys all set up there. Okay, awesome. We made it. We made it. Once again, sorry, obviously you guys are doing it. And then we can go from there. The join at the end, but yeah, that's weird, Jacob. I need to figure that out. Maybe I just did it wrong. But normally you just send that link out and then it pops up. So that's okay though. But yeah, obviously the biggest news here for us today is that Aaron Rodgers is finally signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't think it's any surprise, right? I mean, we kind of all expected that to happen. It says need/join. Right. Okay, Dylan. Oh, Jamar Chase off the board there. You know what's so interesting is that I'm going to have to be doing this without my rankings, because you guys normally take it, but I normally would take Jalen Hurts here, no doubt, if he falls to me there. But yeah, look, there's no surprise that Aaron Rodgers was going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think DK definitely gets the bump, for sure. Am I going to be? I think, but that was already projected with him most likely being on that team, right? And I'll have a look at where Zach had his rankings there before the Aaron Rodgers signing, which once again, I'm pretty sure that was with Aaron Rodgers in mind already, most likely going to be there. So Zach had DK as his wide receiver 25. So, look, no surprise. I don't think he's going to put him any higher than the Xavier Worthies, the DK Metcalfs here, or excuse me, the Brandon Ayuk, Mika and Bukas here. I'll even pull it up for you guys here. Here we go, rankings, so you guys can see. Go to Zach's wide receiver here. So wide receiver 25 right there. So I don't believe there's going to be any difference coming out of that for Zach personally. I think that's all going to most likely stay the same with DK. Maybe he moves him up ahead of Xavier Worthy or Brandon Ayuk, but these guys have the youth there with their wide quarterbacks and wide receiver room, right? So I think that's a pretty fair statement to say that he's not going to get that big of a bump personally, but we'll wait and see. But you know what's also interesting that I always like to bring up when we talk about stuff like this is KTC. And KTC most likely is not going to have a significant difference personally when I think about DK. So right now he's wide receiver 26. I don't personally believe that that's most likely going to change. Yeah, you see? I think this is with Aaron Rodgers in mind as well. Like, that's kind of right on par with Zach had him as well, right? 25. And then the community has DK as wide receiver 26. So I don't see that big of a difference really happening there. What's happening, Albert? How you doing? Welcome in, brother. Joseph, I think Ayuk got dropped. Got dropped. Even the Niners beat writers are low on Ayuk. Yeah. I mean, there was a couple apparently scary things today in practice. I heard like Anthony Richardson, not scary, but like precautionary things that are happening right now. So I heard and I'm on the clock here. And I'll take Nico Collins here, falling to me at the 2-8. I could definitely take another quarterback, but I'll take him there. I heard Michael Pittman had a scare with him bumping knees. I heard Anthony Richardson shoulder is still messing with him, that AC joint, which is not good. I think if you're still struggling with that injury, personally, right now, hypothetically, if it is flaring up from his previous injury and that is still a problem, I don't necessarily believe that like that is a good sign going into the season, which gives Daniel Jones more reps. Not saying that's going to be the be all and end all, but like I've always told you, so Anthony Richardson, he is probably a good buy low right now. But at the same time, you got to take all these stuff with a grain of salt. If we're talking about full-on training camp by the end of July and Anthony Richardson AC joint is still struggling, Michael Pittman knee is still struggling, I think we have to probably reassess, because how well is your confidence with some of those players at that time, right? So we got to wait and see there. All right, looking at the board here, I think everything seems pretty typical. I think the only surprise I see here is Patrick Mahomes at the 2-5 for Mills. And obviously you guys know how we feel about Patrick Mahomes, not saying that he's not worthy of a second-round pick, but I think going with the youth and going with some of these other players that probably have the exact same ceiling to a Patrick Mahomes on a points per game basis is a route I would have gone. I mean, I would have taken Justin Herbert over him, Drake May, and then I think you can definitely argue where if it's Bo Nix, Cinnamon, or Caleb Williams, but we do what we do here, so that's all pretty fair in my personal opinion. And there goes Lamb McConkey there in the third round reversal. So if I can start, and if I'm not mistaken, the Bronx League, where I have the 105, Jalen Hurts and Nico Collins, I'm going to be buzzing. I'm going to be really happy with that personally. Yeah, so some of you guys, let me ask you a question. Obviously, you guys know that I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff now. And when it comes into behind the scenes, I'm always thinking about you guys. I'm thinking about how can I display graphics for videos a lot better? How can I showcase and give you the best content on the team playbooks, on the future graphics that I'm going to be making for, this package, this new product that we're going to be releasing for the redraft league, or not redraft, for the redraft channel. But let me ask you another question, which we definitely have had. I've asked previously in the past. How do you guys feel about merch? And when I say merch, I mean a shirt, a sweater. And let me also say something else. This is going to be like a full-on, at least I would want it to be a full-on line. I want it to be a drop. I don't want to just go to any place that can print our logo and put it on a shirt. Like we had, with all due respect, how some channels, even we did it earlier, where you can get a really cheap shirt and put Fantasyland on there or Dynastyland on there. Like, that's cool. We love that. We love that you guys want that, but we want to make it something that you can wear all the time. That it's not just a shirt that you're going to say, oh, this is cool, but it's not worth even $25. How do you guys feel as a full-on brand? Because I know some of you guys said that you like my sweater. What if I did something along these lines? And let me stand up so I can show you with Dynasty Land, with Fantasy Land, with any other things that we want to bring here as I'm on the clock. And then I'll make my pick and then I'll show you here. Okay, I think I can potentially squeeze it a little bit here. Okay. I mean, for me, I personally feel like running back is the best value here, and I think Devon Achane at the 3A is pretty great. So I'll take Devon there. Um, so yeah, and I'll show you something really. I'm not gonna show you like what I'm making, but like I would like to know if you guys would be interested in something like this. A sweater doesn't have to say Fantasyland, but it'll have a cool branding. It would have something along those lines, because that's kind of what I'm going to be doing here in the second half of the year. Is just trying to create something for you guys that you're going to enjoy wearing, and it's not just going to say Fantasyland, or it's not going to have like a cool logo. Like, it's going to be legit. Like, it's going to be like a full-on clothing brand for Fantasyland for you guys. And I want that to be a t-shirt. I want that to be a sweater. I want that to be a hat at some point. You guys see how Zach loves hats. He wears a hat every single day. What if we had an actual branded hat that's not just has our logo on it, but it's something that's like, oh, that's a nice little touch. That's different, you know? So just a quick thought there for some of you guys. That's what's up. He said, I just want something to rep my set in Austin, Joshua said. And look, that was the original plan. The original plan was to have merch for you guys in Austin. But I think with the way that we're going and what I really want to do here, I really want to make it legit. And I think I can make an easy shirt for you guys for Austin. Easy. Not saying I have a cool design or whatever, but like, it's easy to do that as a selling point. It's like, oh, yo, get your shirt, go to Austin, come see us. That's cool. But it's not about that. It's about like the community that we have. It's about the people that can like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's what's up. Where'd you get that from? You know? And I want the brand to not even look like it's a fantasy football channel. Do you get what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, appreciate you, Zeno. He said that sweater's tough. He says, I'll buy some merch. Style says, I love the merch idea, just would prefer it to be high quality. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think high quality is huge. Dynasty Land boxes. He said, I want a luxury bathrobe so I can flex on 11 other team who lose. Bro, that's imagine. But no, that's what's up though. That's what's up. I think from the response that we got here, I have stuff in works. Now, the goal to release is most likely going to be middle next year. That's how like legit this is. It's going to have its own website. It's going to have its own branding. It's going to have a place where you can buy. It's going to have a place exclusively for drops for you guys. And there's going to be like some cool additions to that as a member of Fantasyland as well. So keep that in mind. I'm on the clock here. So I'm okay with this. So I like the way this fell. Obviously, I was contemplating, honestly, with T. Higgins and then the quarterback in CJ Stroud. But the fact that I can get Jordan Love here as my QB2, and I'm just going to double check that there's anyone else. Yeah, as my QB2, I'm going to take Jordan Love here. Start Jalen Hurts, J Love, Achane, Nico. That feels really good there for me. Got my RB1, wide receiver 1, and both my QBs locked in. So that's what's up. So I was talking about a hoodie last year. What the fuck kind of Dynastyland hoodie? Yeah. Like, once again, we're going to do a hoodie. We're going to do a t-shirt. We're going to do a hat. That's kind of the drop that we're trying to do here. So I agree, your shirts are great. Okay, awesome. I think that's what's up. I think what you guys are saying here is giving me a lot of confidence and then giving me a lot of excitement on trying to make something cool for y'all. And it's gonna take some time. Once again, you can go to our thread shop and like get a shirt from Fantasyland. Easy. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be another one of those creators that you can just get a logo and have like a cool, like a t-shirt. Nah, it's going to be legit. But that's what's up. That's what's up. That makes me pumped. And like, just to give you a little bit more background on that, why it's taking so long. is because, oh, we gotta go back down. We gotta go back down. My desk didn't go back down. And the reason why it's taken so long is actually because I'm meeting with suppliers in 2 weeks, and they're gonna be here in Australia. So we kind of planned it around that. Well, obviously Zach's not going to, but I'm going to be doing that, which is awesome. So I can get some more like face-to-face with these guys, which is great. So gotta have the goose though. Yeah, he's like my main attire in Colorado. I agree, shirts are great. Uncle Fresh's J Love top 5 season incoming. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if he didn't miss that little stretch last year, and he was injured, I think it could have gone crazy. But there was a lot of opportunities where he could have scored touchdowns as well, and those just drop passes where Dontavian always dropped the pass, Jaden Reed dropped the pass. Oh man, it was so frustrating. And I had Jordan Love last year in the Flock League, and there was just so many games that like, not even drop passes, but it got to the point where once they were in the 5-yard line, Josh Jacobs pushed it in. And I was so upset, man. So upset because they would be scoring, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns a game. And it was like, oh man, Jordan Love, imagine if he scored at least 2 of those. It was most likely Josh Jacobs scoring 2 and then him throwing a touchdown at the 5-yard line. It was so annoying. That's all right. I need to let him in jacket for Foxtrot League. Hey, Joe, if this really pops off, that's the type of vibe we can get to the next level. We can take that to like the 3rd or 4th season of release. Like that's what I'm thinking. If it really goes the way we're hoping for. What about Fantasyland on the sleeve and Dynastyland on the other? That's kind of cool. Be Fantasyland, Dynastyland on each sleeve there. Just murdered out. It's like, oh, come on, crew. That'd be sick though. But like, I think to kind of wrap this conversation up is I don't want to create something that we're just gonna put our logo on and I want it to look like a brand that is high fashion. And he's saying, oh shit, what is that? Like, oh, like where'd you get that? Like, did you get that from this store, which is, I don't know, high fashion store? They're like, nah, like this is actually like, these are just 2 guys from YouTube. That's the type of vibe I'm trying to go for. Like obviously I always reference, like you see Zach wear Kith. I love Kith. If you guys don't know what Kith is, if you guys know what that is, Kith. That's the type of stuff I want to make for you guys. But that's also like NFL infused, which I think could be really cool there. So yeah. You guys trophy if you win the league. That's what's up. That is a good idea, Brizzleton, I think. He said, have you applied to be on Shark Tank? Yeah, if Mark Cuban isn't interested, I could throw a few bucks for some shares via company, sure. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Cuban is no longer on Shark Tank, which I could be wrong, but I felt like I saw a clip and he was like not going to be on the show anymore. Yeah, 100% Scribble. I think so. I don't think that either, Sparrow. I think putting land is a good idea. Putting Fantasyland, Dynastyland is a good idea, but I don't want the brand to just be that. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want like the first shirt to come out or like any shirt to come out and it just has land. I think we probably will do that because I think a lot of people would like that. But I want to be a little bit more creative when it comes down to that. All right, let's have a look at this board here. I think once again, everything seems pretty fair when it comes down to what's happening in Jackson Smith and the Jigba at the 3-1 and the 3rd round reversal. That makes sense. That feels really good. There goes JJ McCarthy there. All right, let's have a look at who is available here for me. And this is kind of where, oh yeah, I see somebody I'm going to take here. Let me just double check here. All right, I'm gonna take a risk here because I think I can get a guy at the 6'5". So I'm gonna take Emeka and Buka here, and then let's see who's gonna come back to me there. So not too bad here. Hurts, Love, Nico, and Buka with Devon Achane there. So I don't mind that at all. So isn't that how Mike Tyson says kiss, kith? Hey, appreciate you, man. It says I have nice hair. Thank you. I feel like it's winter time over here. By the way, it is just freezing. It is freezing right now in Sydney, which is a bit frustrating. And a lot of the homes in Australia here don't have insulation. So it actually feels significantly colder inside your home than actually being outside. And when I say cold, it's 55 degrees right now. That's probably not cold for you guys. Especially people that live out in, you know, in the north, the northern states there. But that's cold here in Australia. The low it gets is like 46, like 40, probably the lowest it gets. CMC off the board at the 5'10". Okay, I think my plan could be working here. It could be working here. You don't like Achane, Jacob? Why not? Achane whack? What's the reasoning? Why? 11 Buka. And that's okay. Obviously, everyone's different. Throw a land method blankie on. That's funny. 55 is short weather. Yeah, look, I'm telling you. I'm from New York, too. I ain't from New York no more. I ain't from New York no more. Being that cold, it being 55, and I'm saying, oh, man, it's cold outside. My family laughs at me. For real. Like, it's like, oh, I can't believe it's only 55. Well, we going to the beach. You know, they be joking like that. Since I could not deal with the heat and animals y'all got in Oz, I'm fine in Canada. The thing is, all right. The thing is, the stuff in Australia, all the stuff that you guys see in videos, you'll be seeing the biggest spider in Australia. You'll see the most poisonous snake in Australia. You see the biggest kangaroo. Like, you see like some one-off stuff in the videos that you see on, whether it's on TV. Michael Penix as a 6'3" is crazy. That's crazy, by the way. I mean, normally he goes in the 4th round in our startups. Styles got a steal there. I don't at all see any of those poisonous stuff. Sure, have I seen a huntsman? 100%. There's been a huntsman in my home, but even though they're big, they're not like the poisonous. They're not the scariest. They're just big spiders, which is annoying. That's the annoying part. Having to kill a massive ass fucking spider that's probably the size of your iPhone, saying, and then like just going to sleep. But what's annoying about the huntsmen is that they will just stay on your wall and stare at you. They're not gonna attack you. They will stare at you. All right, I'm on the clock here, and this is my plan worked here. I'll take Brandon Ayuk here. He's deep in ADP. So Nico and Buka, Brandon Ayuk there, I think is a fine start for me. I agree with you, Joe. You already know. If he was here, he would have a whole other rant. Like, you know, Zach's passionate. We're totally opposites. It's like, whoa, we gotta stop the draft here. He's opposed it. Whoa, Michael Penix as a strict 3. You guys made the biggest mistake. There's no way. But I mean, to be fair, it's true though. Like, I wouldn't take Cam Ward over Michael Penix. I would still take Michael Penix over Dak. I think there's an argument to take him over Trevor Lawrence. But at the same time, that's what happens. This is what happens when you rely on the ADP and you have your own rankings next to you following it. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's probably the biggest tip that we can say to all of you guys. If you are in a dynasty startup, or if you are relying on ADP, is probably the worst thing you could potentially do, right? You have to have your rankings and stay true to them. But yeah, let's go back up here for a little bit. Spencer, what's happening? So, who would you rather have in a 10-man Superflex start 10? CeeDee Lamb or Brian Thomas in a projected early first? I mean, I love CeeDee, but look at the difference of where they went here. And if you got that early first, I'll take Brian Thomas in an early first, no doubt about it, right? CeeDee Lamb went at the 110 here, and then Brian Thomas went, what, 6 picks later? So if you could tell me I can get a guy that I still believe in Brian Thomas only 6 picks later and get a future first for that, I'll take Brian Thomas in the first every day. So hopefully that helps, man. Yeah, look, I mean, my accent does go in and out for sure, but British is funny. Which is funny is that we hang out with a bunch of British people. This is from Ireland. Love my chilly weather over here. Yeah. Never heard what boy. So we came. Zach and I both actually live in Australia, and we lived here for. I lived here since 2016. I think Zach came in 2013, and we just came here. I mean, I came here to live abroad. I think Zach did the same thing. We did school out here, and that's how we met. I came here just to live for like a year or two, just to try something different, you know. And I ended up meeting my wife and staying here, and now I'm here in Australia for good, which is cool. I love Australia. Sure said I saw a video of birds of Australia that bang on your windows and something like that, like an annoying woodpecker. I haven't seen that. There are birds called like magpies where they swoop you. So they're really protective on where you live. So like if you look, if you just type in Google like Australian magpie, like I'll type it in like magpie, magpie birds swooping. And you go to images, like they swoop you. So they swoop bike, like people that ride bikes all the time. They're not like dangerous or anything. They're just protective. So what people do here, they wear like these things on their head in Australia. It's just, what are they called? Zip ties. They have zip ties on their head. So when the magpies get close, it's not gonna hurt them. But like people have gotten hurt. Like they go for your eyes. Like it's legit. It's not. You got to be careful. I've seen a couple people get swooped by magpies, like just driving. You'd be like, oh, look at that, you know. Okay, I thought I was on the clock. Jalen Waddle was also a good pick there at the 7-2. I was hoping that he was gonna fall to me. Okay, this thing is bothering me. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we have here. I mean, it feels dumb to take both 49ers, but that's really the best player in my rankings right now. And I just took him back to back. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Probably not ideal, but I'll take the chance there. So yeah. He says, what's your approach on killing a huntsman? Slow and steady. Have something big to kill it. A shoe, a book. That's really it. What's happening? Dre says, which side would you rather have, JSN and the 25 The 204 or Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker in the 110 and a 27th third? That's a good question. I think there's a lot of context there that you would need, that I would need, Dre. And I guess it gives us a nice little segue to kind of tell you, like, which you don't need to at all. But if you want us to kind of go a little bit more in depth and break down that question for you, which I'll answer, you can just drop a super message on the Flock Fantasy website, and then you can link your team. If you're on Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo, you can link your team, and then we can see everyone that's on your team, everyone that's in your league, the picks that you have in, and so on and so forth. Like if it's a start 10, start 9, start 11, or if it's a one quarterback or super flex. I think a lot of that is definitely important when I answer this question. But with no context, when it comes down to this, if you're telling me I can get Bucky, I think Bucky Irving right now and Jackson Smith and Jigba are pretty fair value. When you look at it, I mean, just look at this startup here. Jackson Smith and Jigba went at the 3-1, and Bucky Irving went at the 3-11. Now the positional value is a little bit different when it comes down to that, but the fact that you get the 110, so you're telling me I can get Bucky Irving, and the 110, which is a Matthew Golden, a Meek Mbuka, a Colston Loveland, a Tyler Warren, in hypothetically a super flex league, I would probably take Bucky Irving in the 110, because Sean Tucker in the third don't really mean anything. Now, going back to your question, getting JSN in the 204, do I want JSN and Luther Burden, or do I want Bucky Irving and Mika Mbuka? I personally will take Bucky Irving and Mika Mbuka, because as you can see here, Luther Burden hasn't even gone off the board yet. Jaden Higgins hasn't even gone off the board yet. Cam Scatterboo hasn't gone. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at there. So that's a little bit long-winded, but that's where my mind instantly goes to when I think of a trade like that here. And there goes Luther Burden at the 8-3. We had a nice little run of tight ends with Warren, Kittle, Hawkinson, and Andrews there. Tiny Goose getting his second quarterback there in Justin Fields at the 8-1 there. And oddly enough, I saw a tweet that Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing the Jets week 1, which is just classic, isn't it? It's just classic on how the NFL works and how it all goes down. And I think he's going back to MetLife, or Justin Fields is going to the Steelers. They're both playing their former teams on week 1. So you know that game is going to mean a lot for both of those guys when it comes down to week 1, as I get ready for my pick here. Don't do him, Harlem. I think I know who I'm going to take here. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay, that's good. I'll take Joe Money Bags here. My other running back, got Devon Achane, Joe Mixon here. So it's pretty easy. I'm liking this lineup. A lot of 49ers and a lot of Texans, but it's happening. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Seagulls. Yeah, man, it wasn't good for sure. Like you gotta be careful. Joe says, while looking good so far in OTAs, feel like a super sleeper redraft videos waiting to happen. No question. I think Waddle is a great value of redraft. And keep in mind, guys, we're going to be transitioning. And I think, once again, another good segue. If you guys don't know, if you're here with us for the first time, or maybe you've been with us and you didn't know, we do have a redraft channel. We're going to be transitioning a lot of our content here in the next couple weeks, next month or so, to that redraft channel. So that link is going to be put in there by that Nightbot there. Make sure you go subscribe. Obviously, Zach has already released a couple of videos. He's going to be releasing another one here very soon. Fantasyland Football. And this is actually our first channel, guys. Our very first channel. We're actually almost at 43K here. So we got the first 3 videos, must draft rookies, and then draft now, must draft running backs as well. So definitely go check that out. Over there, okay? All right, let's see what else we got here. Let me make this a little bit bigger, and then here. That Jennings is the guy 6 months from now. I mean, I don't personally see Jennings taking, like, I see Ricky Pearsall having a breakout and Jennings having a step back. Now, I think Jennings is going to be involved a little bit, but I think if we're really looking at how this 49ers offense is going to operate, you have to remember Ricky Pearsall was a first-round pick. They decided to move on from Debo, extend George Kittle, extend Brandon Ayuk, and you have Ricky Pearsall here. So the 49ers are going to have weapons to utilize in Brandon Ayuk and Ricky. I just don't think that's going to be Jennings, personally. But hey, each of their own. So do you guys usually transition to do that channel in season? Yeah, Mike. So what we normally do is that, so you will see less and less videos starting to happen on this channel, where you will see, right now we're releasing 1 video a week on redrafts. I would say by the time Zach gets back, we'll probably bump that up to 2 to 3, where this channel will most likely have 1 or 2. So, you normally get 2 to 3 videos on this channel weekly, right? Redraft, you get 1. That's going to flip. And for us, that normally flips in July, because you really have to think about it. Once you have to think, we think about the casual fan, right? We think about those people that don't come in often, specifically redraft players, and they say, oh wow, they just got a notification on their phone like training camp started for their favorite team. Let me go start looking at content. They like to cram all their content in at one time, probably a week before their draft, or a day before their draft, really, to see who are the best values. So we're definitely going to be transitioning there. But like I said, definitely go drop a follow. We're going to be still talking about players, and I know you guys love Dynasty because you like the long-term outlook there. But I think it's also good if you are in redraft leagues as well. Why not? Why not go out and try and see what are those values for redraft, or because that kind of helps the market, right? I think their performance in season helps the market for Dynasty, obviously. So it's good to keep that all in sync. Is it crazy that I might take another Texan here? Okay, I was about to say, Jaden Higgins there at the 9.5 is kind of crazy. And I was about to say, am I about to take another Texan there? Because the fact that I could have potentially gotten Higgins would have been phenomenal. I mean, Troy, hey, I'm not we like Jennings. We don't see how he's still gonna have that workload with Ricky being. I think once again he'll be there. I think he'll be a good wide receiver 3. I think he'll be the 4th target there. Hell, you can even argue the 5th target. Now, was that relevant last year? No, because Ayuk wasn't healthy, or not Ayuk. I'm right. Ayuk wasn't healthy for a good portion of the season. Obviously, Debo Samuel was in and out with that pneumonia, right? CMC missed a lot of the season as well. So I can see your argument on why you can probably see Jennings is and can potentially be the guy. But I personally... Sorry, let me just make my pick. We're going to change the clock to 30 seconds in round 10, by the way, guys. Yeah, I think Jack Best is probably the best guy for me here, who I love here. Let me just double check on quarterbacks and see what we got. Okay, now we're good. Let's go Jack Besh. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it, but I personally would be banking on Ricky Pearsall taking a next step in year 2. And Brock Purdy gets extended, so they feel a little bit more comfortable there as well with Brock Purdy and his future. I mean, Ricky is going to be the guy there for him as well. He said, will team playbooks continue year round? Yeah, they will continue year round. We're going to continue, we're going to continue to do team playbooks, and we're going to bring out some new, I guess you can say team reviews for redraft as well. If you guys have a bunch of redraft teams, that hasn't really been finalized with the name, but that's most likely going to be announced I would say like first or second week of July is probably the idea, or the ballpark of where we're most likely going to be releasing that. And that's going to come with so much more. Okay. And that's also going to help the members that are already part of the LAN community here. And I know whatchamacallit, I got to put this game on. So obviously we got to have 2 team reviews for tonight. I'll get through those. But obviously the NBA Finals is tonight. I know a lot of people are going to be locking in to watch the NBA Finals. So we're trying to get you guys out here as quick as possible as well. But also giving you all the time in the world to kind of get exactly what you want here. But it looks like 71% of you guys say OKC is going to take game 1. And that's exactly what Zach likes to hear. You already know Zach is shaking in his boots right now. He's in front of his TV. Man, he is, I think this is make or break. Obviously, you guys were probably here for that conversation last night. This is where I believe Halliburton, he is going to solidify himself to be a superstar. If he doesn't win this, I don't believe he's a superstar. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, time didn't change. You're so right. Thanks, guys. Paul's draft. Draft settings. 30 seconds. Update. Resume draft. Now I'm on the clock here with 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take I just need to double check. I'm not gonna have time to double check my rankings. I feel like I have Njoku higher than Kincaid, but I'm gonna take Kincaid. I need to double check that. I still believe in Dalton Kincaid. It's just, man, it's just so hard to really trust. Hey, yeah, I do have Njoku higher than Dalton Kincaid, so definitely the wrong move to make, but that's where my heart initially goes. What's happening, Dub G? Yeah, it's well needed though. Obviously, Zach grinds, he does his thing. But you know, he does what he does. And then I need to get other stuff set up too. Like I don't even have a time to do FastDraft as well. Which is like I don't have the plug-in phone, so I'm gonna get that over the weekend so we can do some FastDraft while Zach's away with you guys. And obviously, if you guys haven't heard, Pennsylvania is now live, which is awesome. So if you're in Pennsylvania and you haven't done FastDraft with us, please sign up. Use that promo code LAN. You deposit $50, you get 10 free matches that you can enter once you deposit that, which is awesome. So I think it's OKC. I think Zach has it in the bag. I don't think he has to really struggle. I don't think he needs to worry about anything. I think this team is crazy good. I think if you can go through and beat, I mean, once again, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like that Denver Nuggets team is really good and they just dominated them. dominated. So I don't see how that is a real issue. There goes Jawan Jennings there for you guys. You Jawan Jennings believers out there. There goes Trey Benson. That's a nice pick. Oh, Chase, man. We used to do that. We used to go out and grade and look at every single team and grade them back in the day. What ends up happening is that everyone wants their team reviewed, and honestly, we just don't have the time to do that anymore, man. I can tell you that in startups like this and mock drafts, a lot of people are doing different things, are trying different things. So in reality, it's not a true representation of what a team would look like. And yeah, we can give. Oh, Kyle Williams just went as well. That's who I was gonna take. It's okay. I'll take Jalen Noel though. There. But I can definitely understand where you're coming from, and we appreciate that question, but it just makes it really difficult for us to then having to go. We used to do that. We used to go like, man, Tiny Goose, Jaden Daniels, Justin Fields. Well, I don't really like Justin Fields as a QB2. Who is this QB3 going to be? Derrick Henry, RJ Harvey? Like, it's just going to go through the process, and it's just really difficult right now because, you know, we don't want to half-ass anyone's team. If I'm going to put the same time and effort from Tiny Goose, Brando is expecting that, and I can't do that for 11 other teams there. But appreciate you though, Chase. How much is a ticket to an NBA Finals game? NBA Final ticket price. SeatGeek. Let's see. Can I go to the NBA Finals? I want to go to the NBA Finals, but how do I? The average ticket per game comes to $2,800. That was last year. Celtics, Mavericks. Last year? Yeah. I mean, the average ticket price per game comes in at 28, with the tickets in Boston averaging at 4,000 a game. 4,300 a game. Yeah, wow. According to last year. I mean, surely, respectfully, the Pacers are significantly cheaper than. You could probably buy a flight, go to Indiana, and then get a ticket to an NBA Finals game for hella cheap. So it would have been $5K for standing alone. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy when you think about that, though. I'm on the clock here. Okay. Man, running back, quarterbacks and running backs went really quick there. I got 7 seconds. All right, I'm going to take two in. Here we go. It's starting here. I'm going to watch the first little bit. You guys can't hear that, right? Just let me know if you can't hear anything, because if you can hear something, that's not okay. Turner, he missed it. Here we go. That's what you want. SGA driving the ball. There goes that pick and roll from that tall white guy, number 7. He goes in, he drives. Oh! Is Brandon Ayuk a star? I mean, yeah. The NBA, you know? I think the NBA is rigged too. Did we have that conversation? I don't think we had that conversation. You guys believe that? In and out. Here we go. Great start. Great start here. SGA with the ball. Pick and roll. Number 7. White boy going deep. And one. No, it's not an and one. That should be a foul. Sir. You should have seen Zach is, man, Zach gets so stressed out. He loves it though. He gets so stressed out. That little bitch. Yeah, you missed it. Sorry. This is family friendly. We said the NBA draft. We said the NBA draft is rigged. Okay. We're just in the simulation. Matrix was a true story. Oh my gosh, dude, imagine. I think that's what's so annoying though. Like, the fact that the majority of people believe the NBA is rigged, I think it ruins the game for me. You know, and I still watch it and I still enjoy it. But like, as a true NBA fan out there, whoever's out there that is a true NBA fan, and you agree that the NBA is rigged, how is that fun? Like, how I guess you can still support your team. But like, if I knew the NFL was rigged, which I think a lot of people do believe it's rigged, I just find it a little bit harder for the NBA or the NFL to kind of rig games. There's so many people, but like, man. Oh, they're starting off hot, sir. They're starting off hot. 7-0 run here. Yeah, you see, like, but it's not fun to watch anymore, right, Tiny Goose? Like, it's frustrating. And as somebody that is just a casual fan, I'm frustrated for the deep diehard NBA fans because it's rigged. And it's just known. It's known for you guys. And I just can't back it by just still watching every game. I know you guys love your team, and I know this is what people want, and I know, like, that's frustrating. If I ever find out that NFL's rigged, I'll be so pissed. And I would look back at everything that the teams have done or plays that have been called, and like, that play would have made a difference. Like, it's so obvious how, like, sometimes they give teams calls in favor of a team that they probably want to win. Or a good example, the Dallas Mavericks. How the hell did they get the first round pick? I'll be pissed if I was you. I'll be like, fuck, dude, that's crazy. That shouldn't have happened. And now your team, whoever is the worst team in the NBA, is not going to get the franchise player that they should have. Was it Cooper Flag, right? You were probably locked. I don't know who the hell's who was supposed to be number one, who everyone projected to be number one. If you were a fan of that team and you was like, "This for sure, we're getting Cooper Flag," it's locked in. And then the Dallas Mavericks get him. Life is done. Actually, no, I can't say that on TV. On TV, I can't say that on live stream. Okay, I am going to be taking. I saw Jalen Coker there. I think that's the next best available. I'm just gonna double check here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I got auto picked. All right. Q. Auto pick off. So I got the trip where I decided to tell you the Giants don't win the Super Bowl. That's what they said. That's what they said in 2011 and in 2007. I remember that, man. That was a good time. Good time, man. Shout out to Eli. Let me see. My second son is going to be named Elias. After Eli Manning. Guaranteed. Oh, you should have passed it. You had it, brother. Oh, you see? Just not good enough. I mean, my goodness, the NBA. All right, these last two rounds, and then we're going to go into some team reviews here. DRK and then Port Dog is up here for us. And please let us know if you're here with us as we get this rolling here. And then what we can do, I'll kind of give you guys a spiel now. Actually, no, we'll wait. We'll wait until this is over. And then we can go into some team reviews for sure. Kind of go into that mindset for you guys, which is awesome. SGA with the answer. Okay, Turner, turn it on. Turner's turning it on. Not good. Not good. Oh shit, I'm on the clock. All right, let's go some rookies here. That's what I get for not paying attention, dude. That's why I get 2 picks back to back. I'm not paying attention. All right, I think I'll let this one go. I'll let this one finish here, and we can then transition to some team reviews here. Guys, if you guys want your team reviewed, all you have to do is sign up. Okay, and I totally messed that up there. Let me try that again. Huh? Let me try that one more time. This is why you have to bear with me, because this is going to be the first time I am doing something like this. Okay, if you guys want a customized playbook specifically for your team, which is awesome, you can get a beautiful graphic that you can see right there. All you have to do is sign up with a promo code LAN, okay? Once you sign up, you link your team, you go to personal advice. Make sure you go use that slider and slide up to the live team review, okay? And then you will get your team review here within the next 24 to 48 hours there. Okay, and then once again, we're going to be transitioning to these team reviews here, and DRK is the first one up here. Okay, let me just move me here, and we can put me up here like that, a little bit bigger, and then we can get into the mix here. And as I make a chalkboard for you, DRK, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. And just give me a second here while I'll make a playbook for you. All right, 449. And then DRK. DRK, let me know if you are here. If not, you should be receiving a time code with this team review here, man. But we appreciate you. Looking at this team is a 2 quarterback, 12 team start 9. So that's our classic meat middle grounds, or excuse me, meat and potatoes. I was correct by saying that. I put that in the chat here for you guys to see as well. Our classic meat and potatoes here. And the context as well. He says, big fan. This was a startup draft, first time for 11 of us. Only one vet in the league who drafted Bowers at the 105. No tight end premium. Ready to cook him and hear your thoughts. Okay. And Dom, we trust is your team as well. You love to see it. Family. You currently rank first out of 12, and then obviously coming out of something like this, meaning it is pretty even in a startup here. So let's have a look at your team. Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Tyler Shook, and Dalen Milroe, which I think is pretty good. Tyler Shook there as your QB3 is going to be good enough going into the season. At the running back position, you have Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, Kenneth Walker, James Conner, Isaac Herendo. So you went in the younger route at the running back position, but still having some vets there with Kenneth Walker and James Conner. You can start up to 4 wide receivers in Nico, Ladd, Brandon Ayuk, and Ricky Pearsall. Honestly, a very similar team that I just drafted here in our startup. I had just drafted Nico, Brandon Ayuk, Ricky, and Jalen Knoll there, all the same guys. So I do like this wide receiver room. I think kind of like, as I said, it does limit your upside there having Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall, but I do believe both those guys taking a big step, specifically Ricky Pearsall going into the 2025 season with David Njoku and Brenton Strange there. Okay. So let's have a look at some of the untouchables here for you. I think for me, untouchables would definitely be Jaden Daniels. We're going to put as an untouchable for you for sure. And then Nico Collins, we would like to put as an untouchable. Holds, no doubt about it, is going to be Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall, Isaac Garendo is going to be an untouchable as well for us. And then we can also put names like Brenton Strange. All good, DRK. That's great. That's great that you're here, man. You didn't really miss too much. I'm just going through untouchables, and then we can get into the chalkboard there. Deuce, are you doing another mock draft or two? No, just the one today, man. But we appreciate you. We'll definitely do some more mock drafts in next week there. We're gonna have a real dynasty startup there as well. So holds Ricky Pearsall, Isaac Arendo, Brenton Strange there, and I would also put one more in like Tyler Shook. We're also gonna hold drops, which we'll have a look at the waiver wire first, really quick. I don't see anyone in the waiver wires that is really worth. This is pretty small for you guys. Hey, let me just make sure that you guys can see this stuff as well. That might be a bit small for you guys. I think that might be better. Yeah, I don't see anyone in the waiver wires worth picking up there. So once again, you don't have to drop these players, but you definitely can. And please, DRK, jump in at any point in time if you have any questions regarding any of these players here. But yeah, actually, there's no drops. I want to see what Kareem Hunt's going to do. I know you have Rashad Smith and Brandon Ayuk is going to do there. So there's going to be no drops there on your team. Pathway forward, I would definitely say you are a contender in my eyes. I would say a soft contender. I don't think a strong contender was there, but I would just say a contender, which I don't have the pathways either for you guys. So I definitely need to set that up for you guys so you guys can see. So a contender simply is just, you're just right in the mix. You're getting to the playoffs and anything can happen, right? That's what our contender status means going into a team like this. Your draft capital, since you have all your first and 26, basically I'm just going to put a B. And your overall team grade, I'm going to put at a B+ there as well. Okay, and let's just come here really fast. Give me a second as I am setting this up. So obviously you didn't do a rookie draft, but I'm going to include like your rookie draft hole that you did in your startup there. Which we can then now go to the chalkboard and I can show you. I can put that here. Right. How does he do that? Oh, he goes back and forth. Right, okay. All right, let me just come here really fast and just clear some of these guys out. Okay. So you got Tyler Shook, Jalen Milroe. I saw Quinshon Judkins. I also saw Travion Henderson. Henderson. Who else did you end up getting there as well? Rashad Smith. There as well. Jalen No, Alec A.O. Manor, Isaac Tesla. Okay. Jalen No. Alec A.O. Manor. And then Isaac Tesla. I think that's how you spell his name. I think it's 2 A's, right? Yeah. I think it's like that, actually. Okay. So when looking at your team here, just trying to figure out what you can potentially do in trying to boost your team. My first initial thought is like, excuse me. Sorry. My first initial thought is like, really, there's not really much that you could potentially do here to go out and utilize your team, or utilize any of these players, because I feel like all these guys are guys I would want to keep. I want to keep Nico, Travion, Judkins, Jaden Daniels there, right? What we can do is use your 26 first and see if you can potentially get, like, can I use my 26 first and Kenneth Walker to go out and get a top wide receiver? Can I go out and use my 26 first and maybe get rid of a name like Ricky Pearsall to not limit your upside and see what type of wide receiver you can get, right? But at the end of the day, I think this is a pretty fair an even league, right? I do believe you have the best overall team when looking at this, right? Let's just have a look here. Because I'm thinking like, oh, we can get another running back, but you have Travion and Quinshawn. If you want another vet running back, you can go out and get. My initial thought just went straight to what type of, or we can go out and get a tight end. You have Njoku there. We can explore those two. Let's explore tiering up to get a better. We can do all three: a better running back, wide receiver, and tight end using our 26 first and potentially a player there, because I think that might be the best potential way that you can go there, right? All right, so let's utilize this really fast. So 26 first plus something for a player, right? My initial thought went to like the CeeDee Lambs. Can we get the CeeDee Lambs of the world? Can we get I doubt you can get the Malik Neighbors, but can you get the Puka Nakuas? Puka Nakua. Can you get Amon-Ra St. Brown? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are the type of names that I am looking. You already have Nico, so if you can tier up to one of those guys, and then same thing at the running back position there. I think maybe even just a 26 first. Once again, you don't really have to do this for Bucky Irving. Can we go out and get a Bucky Irving right now and just bolster that running back room? Just to give you a little bit more depth, right? Because if you have Travion, Quinshawn, Kenneth Walker, that can really change your team. That can really change your outlook. I would also say the same thing with Devon Achane. Zach always does it like this, so I'm going to try and do it as simple as possible as well. Devon Achane there. Look, I think you can go like the Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor route, but I think if I can just go out and get a heavy hitter, even if I have to add someone like who did you have here? You know what? I'll do the first and James Conner personally. You could potentially get a third for that, right? And call that. But like if I can get my 26 first and James Conner the third, I mean, look, I would even say if you can, your team and your league a little bit better. Can you get a second? Can you get a second there? But let's have a look at some of these wide receivers. But this feels really good at the running back position. But looking at this wide receiver, so 26 first and CeeDee Lamb. Let's have a look at the CeeDee Lamb owner to see if it's even possible. Okay, yeah, this guy needs a running back, no doubt. But he's going to lose one of his best players in CeeDee Lamb. And obviously, CeeDee Lamb is being very disrespected in the community right now when it does come down to his value. So can you get a CeeDee Lamb? I would do a 26 first and Kenneth Walker personally. Now, if that's too much, can we get something in return? Let's see what KTC says there, because 26 first. Let's just say that is a mid CD. Yeah, I think and Walker should be okay. But like if he wants to throw and say, oh, I don't think that really works for us. I want to get something else in return as well. I think I can throw in like a Jalen McMillan and then get like a Keon Coleman back or Deebo Samuel, right? So like, for example, we can do this one actually. So you can send Jalen McMillan and then you can get Keon Coleman back. Keon Coleman. That's something that I would be okay with doing. Let's see if there's anyone else there. You can do Jameson and then send No, you can't send anyone. That's probably what I would do there. Let me see the tight end position. Sam Laporta. Who else can we give? I mean, you could go a little bit more in depth, though. What if we did something? Let me just see what our calculator here says. Because '26 first. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's gonna just have to be significantly more personally, but like, I'm thinking, how can we get Sam Laporta on here? Sam Laporta, because you need a tight end, right? So you probably need to give up. I'm thinking you probably can then give up like a Ricky Pearsall. That feels pretty fair to me. A 26th first, Ken Walker, Ricky Pearsall for CD and Laporta. It's not a tight end premium right now. I think you actually have to throw in a little bit more, actually. I don't think that actually is going to be the right value. Let me just triple check. It's not going to be Ladd. Yeah, that's actually not going to work, actually. I don't think this one would work. But if you can get something like this done, even if he says, hey, I need a second, I'm personally willing to get that done, but it's really up to you there. Let's have a look at the Puka Nacua one. Puka Nacua team is probably most likely going to be something similar along those lines as well. This one feels a little bit better. He doesn't need a running back, though, so Kenneth Walker. So maybe a 26 first and... yeah, Puka Nacua might not work, actually. Let me just triple check here. See what you got. Yeah, Puka Nacua might not work. Quinshawn, who else other running backs he has? Yeah, I don't think Puka is going to work personally. So let's just see Amon-Ra. And then maybe we can look at then tight end specifically. Okay, Amon-Ra potentially could work. He has... isn't a tie turn, right? Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs. So you can get a first. Kenneth Walker for the Amon-Ra. Nah, I feel like the first thing that came to mind is like sending Walker again. But once again, he doesn't really need that. And then getting someone like a Jerry Jeudy. Getting Jerry Jeudy added on to that. But that doesn't feel pretty fair when it comes down to something on your end. You know, if I had to throw in James Conner there. James Conner, Amon-Ra. I feel like that feels fair in my eyes, but then you're losing two of those running backs that you need and your first. So that also doesn't work. I think it's probably pretty fair with the CeeDee Lamb in my eyes, getting some of these running backs here. But like I said, some of these guys and some of these moves that you have, you really don't have to make. Let's just say rookie picks. Once again, you don't really have to do any moves because... And then David Njoku's, I think, is a pretty fair. I was going to look into tight end, but you have two tight ends that we both really like here. But DRK, please let me know if you have any questions here, anything you would like me to explore. I think that quarterback position is good as well. Let me just triple check at this guy. What was the other guy that we talked about? It was CD. What's his quarterback room looking like? No, that feels okay. That feels okay there. But yeah, man, let me know if you have any last minute questions, man. But you should be receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system with everything that we drew up here for you today, man. But yeah, thank you so much for the support. But But let me know if there's any last minute questions. And then we can go to Port Dog, which I'll probably end up just going straight to Port Dog then, since we haven't heard from DR. Okay, just press confirm. He says, yeah, the tight ends is what I think about the most. I think about Justin and Henderson and what the production would look like year one. Yeah, I mean, once again, you really don't have to did that go through? Oh, dude, it must have not, because I'm not live. Oh no, here we go. Okay, it did. Okay, awesome. I was a bit scared. I was just on the wrong page. I get what you're saying with your team there. Look at that tight end position I was thinking about the most. I was also thinking about Justin and Henderson and what their production would be like year one. Yeah. Quinshon Judkins and Henderson. Yeah, look, I think their production is going to be instant, but even if it's not instant, I think the running back room, because with James Conner and Kenneth Walker, are going to help you regardless. Like, we see Henderson being the #1 running back in that backfield and like being instant production. Same thing with Quinshon, but I can see potentially Quinshon having a little bit of a slower come up there. Maybe they want to involve, you know, Jerome Ford, which is highly doubtful, more of Dylan Sampson. But even then, if you didn't want to do that, it's still going to be okay because of the running back depth that you have. Now the tight end position, potentially, the tight end position, you could have gone and get something. Like, you can just use some of those first, which I'll add. And yeah, I think Ramondre is done in New England, like Mike said. What I could do, and you probably won't see this, but I can do like first round guys that you can. Oh, you probably can't see this. Can you do the Sam Laporta? Just for Sam Laporta, right? I'm trying to think of any other guys. If you want to compete now, I don't think you should do this for George Kittle, but you already have 49ers up the wazoo. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you can do 2 seconds. How about you do 2 seconds for George Kittle? Like, you can do a 26 second plus a 27 second. But you can also try a 26 second and a 27 third. Once again, I doubt you can get that done, but you know your league better than we do. Or you can go with these younger guys that you probably missed out on. Like, can you get a first for Tyler Warren, or Colston Loveland? Let's see, and see Loveland. That's probably the only ones. I'm trying to think who else. TJ Hawkinson is also a good one. You can do TJ. But like, I think if you're going to go that route and getting a tight end, go out and get a heavy hitter. You know, go get Sam Laporta, get some of these young guys, or TJ Hawkinson. But if you're going to go get a heavy hitter that's a little bit older, like an Njoku or Mark Andrews, see if you can go out and get, I would also say, or Andrews. Or M. Andrews. I think I will do this personally. If you can get either of those guys on this team, then you should be fine there. But appreciate you, man. All love. All love. And I think Port Dog is next. And we do have 2 more spots for a live team review, guys. If you want to get your team reviewed here tonight, we have 2 more spots. All you have to do is sign up at promo code LAND, but you get a beautiful graphic that you see in front of you with untouchables, holds, and drops. All you have to do is use a promo code LAND, join the flock, right? And then you can link your team. link your team. Make sure you use that slider, slide it up to a live team review, and then you will get yours here within 24 to 48 hours there. But Port Dog, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Like I said, you are the next one up here. And let me just create this chalkboard here for you really quick, which I haven't done as of yet, because that is important. But Port Dog, if you are here with us, you should be getting a time code here with this live review. And if you have any questions, please let me know. This is a 2 quarterback 12 team start 12 actually. So this is depth is king. This is deep. That's what she said. Depth is king. 2 quarterback 12 team start 12. And let me get some things jotted down and set up for you before I get into your team, since I am solo dolo. How is OKC doing? That is the real question. Up by 9 right now. You love to see it. You love to see it. Come on, OKC. Bring it home. Sorry for all the Pacer fans out there. Actually, I'm not sorry. I actually don't care about not jokes. Let me stop. Currently ranked 3rd out of 12, which is good. All right. Let's have a look at your context here. He says, had you guys review a couple months ago, made a few trades since then, and the rookie draft is coming up. League has IDP. I'm confident I can contend if I hit well on the draft as a non-locked Henderson at the 104, Judkins or Tet at the 105, possibly even shop and maybe Dart at the 112. Right. Okay. So you said this is a IDP league, which means I wonder if it's really a start 12. And let me just pull this up really fast, because I can probably find Port Dog's review and double check if that's actually a start 12. Let's see. So it looks like scrambled brain. Yeah, so this is a start 9. Actually, 104, 105, 112 he has. But you had Brock Bowers, apparently. You had Justin Jefferson, apparently. Hopefully I'm looking at the right team here. But maybe I don't really want to do that. So I think if this is a start 9, Port Dog, and obviously you're here. Oh, wait, you're here. Is this you, Josh? I never had them. Those images were wrong that you were sent. Yes, okay. Okay, so I sent you out the wrong one. Well, if I send you out the wrong one, please send a message next time if I messed up. And then you'll always fix that for you. Okay. So this is a start 9 then. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, 10. Wait, am I reading that wrong? No, in Superflex. So you counted it twice. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is a start 9. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that before we went anywhere. Any further. Okay, so start 9, meat and potatoes there, which I'll put here. But yeah, I'm sorry about that, Port Dog. If you have if I messed up last time, just send me a message on Discord, or send Zach a message back, hey, this is wrong, or send us an email, because within that message, in the message system, we send you the email address if anything's wrong, because I want you to make sure that you have all the tools that you need for your startup. Okay, so just let me know next time, but that's totally okay. But we'll have a look at your team here, and I'm sorry about that. But let's have a look at your team. At the quarterback position, Josh Allen's 2 attack, Daniel Jones, Malik Willis there. So Josh Allen, 2 attack is good quarterbacks. That QB3 is a little bit shaky. I would probably try and get someone else outside of Tua. And I think when I saw your trade ideas, I think we kind of said that if you can go out and get a Michael Penix or Dak Prescott or something along those lines, or even a Trevor Lawrence. So I think I would still stand true to that, getting one of those guys. At the running back position, you have CMC, Tank Bigsby, Jalen Warren, but you have the 104 and the 105, which is good. At the wide receiver position, Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Rome Odunze, Chris Olave in a start 9. So I think that's good depth as well. I mean, you start 4 wide receivers in a meat and potatoes, or a good starting lineup, but the depth is not there, with Tucker Kraft, Evan Ingram, and Ben Sinnott there. So let's have a look and have a little bit deeper dive into untouchables and some admin. So Josh Allen, Puka Nacua are your 2 untouchables, no question. Holds I would put there as Tank Bigsby. There's a video coming out soon that Zach is going to be releasing on Tank Bigsby. Rome Odunze on our redraft channel, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely go check that out here very soon. Rome Odunze there are 2 guys that I would hold. A bunch of drops here still. Frank Gore Jr., Keaton Mitchell, you can drop, and then Treylon Burks can also go as well with Cade Stover. I will be okay to drop there. Let me just see if there's any other waiver wire picks here, which we can add here to the chalkboard in a second. I like the name of Mike Gesicki. I like Miles Sanders just as a flyer to see what happens. I see Mike Gesicki, Miles Sanders there. Let's see, who else do you have to potentially go out and get? That's probably about it. Are the 2 guys that I would be potentially trying to pick up here. And I'll get this chalkboard sorted for you. There we go. Let me get this chalkboard sorted for you, and then I'll bring that up when it comes down to looking into the future of what you can go out and get for some of these picks. Maybe maximizing or sticking and picking is probably going to be something that we're most likely going to do here. But also, so much easier when there's 2 people here for sure, because you can fill the time just a little bit better. Okay. We have it here. Let me bring this over for you. And we can close this guy out and then bring this guy up here. All right, here, and this is your draft capital that you have here today, which will get post-draft waiver wire pickups that I would like you to pick up Mike Gesicki and Miles Sanders. I think are pretty important here. And like you said, at the 104, 105, a bunch of names that you could potentially get here. Travis Hunter potentially can fall. Ted McMillan can be there as well. Travion Henderson, I think, will easily be there. And then, obviously, you could potentially get Ted McMillan, Travion there. Also with Quinshawn Judkins can easily be there as well. So with it being IDB, Travis is most likely locked at the 102. True. You also have ADP. So that's a good, thank you for that reminder. So in reality, all these guys are going to be the same then. I'm trying to think at the 105 if there's going to be anyone else, but that's probably going to be either one of those guys. At the 112, we've seen a huge range of players. And obviously, Josh, like we're not big IDP guys, so we're not necessarily sure if there's somebody else. If it's going to be Travis Hunter, I think I can think of Abdul Carter going to be there. But we can definitely get into potentially sticking and picking and then looking to do max value and potentially trading back. At the 112, for me, if I'm not mistaken, there's a huge range there. Matthew Golden, we've seen go at the 112. We've seen Jackson Dart go at the 112. Let's do this Colston Loveland because I don't think all that's going to fit. Tyler Warren, Emeka Mbuka, which once again, I doubt it in Buka, but he could potentially fall there. I would also say Caleb Johnson can fall there as well. We haven't seen a name like RJ Harvey fall there. And at the 204, big range, Jaden Higgins, Jack Besh there. We like Luther Burden. We like there as well. And then potentially Cam Skataboo is also there. Skataboo. Yeah. And then obviously BPA here at the 304. Now, when it comes down to tearing down, like you did mention, been torn train down at the 105. I think that's probably your sweet spot. I think I want to keep the 104, and then if you really want to then trade that back, trade down, we definitely can. And I think that could potentially be the exciting part when we think of trading that down. So obviously the 105, we always say 105. How do we do that? For 106, 106, 107, 108, I would also say is probably there. Henderson's my guy at the 108 is interesting once you get to that part. Yeah, and I think that's probably my sweet spot. I think anywhere from 6, 7, 8 is where I want to go. I don't want to tear down any lower than that personally. It just gets you out of the range, like, right? Once is that, because at least for our drafts, which I'm pretty sure you've seen, Josh, where at that 106, 107, 108 range, sometimes you see Mbuka go there. Sometimes you see RJ Harvey go there. Now, sometimes in an IDP league, that's going to be really different, especially in three IDP starts. So some of these guys might fall. But if that's the case, then you probably are more than welcome to trade back there. But let's have a look at the 106 and who has the 106 in your league here. Let's just start from the top and go down. 104, okay, that's you, of course. 205, 108. Okay, this guy has a 108. So you're trading now from the 105 to the 108. I mean, my instant thought is like, can I get the 108 and Jalen Waddle? I mean, I doubt that's possible. Let me just double check and see who you have here as well. Yeah, this just doesn't seem possible there. Man, I wouldn't want to give up. Actually, I would do this. 105 and the 204 for the 108 and Jalen Waddle. You still kind of stay, even though the 105, actually no, the 104 to the 105 to the 108 is the same tier for us, and then there's a tier break. So if I can stay in that same tier at the 108, get Waddle in that 204, because a lot of people are down on Waddle, I would do that. Now, you know you lead the best. If you can do that, 100% go out and try and get that done. I doubt you can do Devonta Smith. I think there's a pretty significant tier there. So that's kind of where I would go. If you have to add the 304 to that, if you have to add the 304, I'm okay. Maybe you can get, you know, maybe you can just do like the 307 or the 405, right? You can do a pick swap in the third, trying to get that done. But I think that's pretty fair. I kind of like that trade a lot, actually. Let's see who has the 107. Okay, 107. Brian Robinson, Devontae there. Caleb, he has the 111. So I think this one's pretty straightforward. 107, 111. Can I get for the 105? Even happy to do somewhere where we do essentially a pick swap and you add the 204. You basically move up, right? Get into those two tiers. I think that would be great for you. I don't think you can eat. I personally don't want a DK Metcalf. I wonder if Zach would do that. I don't think it's out of the realm of potentially getting 105, 107 plus DK. Metcalf. I don't think it's out of this world personally. Once again, you can add the 304 to get that done. To get that done as well. But look, I'm not in love with this one, but I feel like that's maybe something Zach will cook up because of how much he likes DK. Or not that he's in love with him, but you know, he would do it because he thinks he will be good. What else? You can't do Xavier Worthy. I think that's about it there, though. So 107, 111. Let's look for the 106 here. 110, 106. Okay. I like 106. So 106. I mean, I think this one's easy. I would just say 106 and Ricky. Once again, doing that same structure. Now, look, once again, you know your league. All these trades are a starting point for us. But can I do 106? But I'll be happy. I did a trade similar to this in a couple weeks ago in our in our rookie drafts, where I got Ricky Pearsall, I got a first, and I got a future first. I'll be okay doing something like that. I doubt that was going to happen in every league. I got pretty lucky in that one. Once again, adding the 304 to that, getting 106, getting a first round wide receiver, I think is pretty good. That's probably about it. I think that's probably where you can go now. Tua, I would still say the same thing with the quarterback positions in Tua. Can we use Tua and get a quarterback? Can we use Tua, use that 204, use that 204 or that third to get, once again, which I'm pretty sure, I think we said something similar to this in Michael Penix, right? Can we do Tua to get the Trevor Lawrence of the world? Because I would definitely be doing something along those lines. You probably have to add a little bit more when it comes down to getting a name like Trevor Lawrence. You probably have to add something else onto there. Trying to see what else. I mean, guess you can do Jalen Warren, Tua, and Lawrence there, right? Once again, I feel like these are what we offered last time, if I'm not mistaken. What else? I think we said the owner is stingy with Lawrence and Penix. I tried working them out, but they wouldn't budge. Okay, they just wanted more, or they didn't want. Are they happy to move him, but they just wanted more players, or you know, a little bit more heavier dose there? Why am I making that hard on myself? Okay, Michael Penix. We can do this guy. Well, this guy has Michael Penix, Jared Goff, so Tua. What's this guy have? He has the 103. Let's see. Um, 103, 104, 105, Drake May. Look, I would, if that's the case, then it's probably best to then just hold. I think another route that you could potentially take, if you want, is going. I think we said Dak Prescott as well, right? Brock Purdy, Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence. Just having a look at some of these guys here. Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins. Man, that's tough. I wouldn't want to do that. I was thinking about tearing down from Fields or to Fields, but I just need something more. I need something more. All right. look, if you can do something along those lines, still, I would still try and utilize some of these guys to try and go out and get one of these players. I think something else that we could potentially do for this team, which you may disagree, but what can I go out and get for a name like for Christian McCaffrey? Now, you probably know me. I'm not a big CMC believer. I think there are some people that can go out and trade CMC away or pivot to a running back that I feel more comfortable with personally. So, for example, once again, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to put this down as ideas. I think of, can I go out and get a Chuba Hubbard in a league like this? I feel like you could potentially get Chuba Hubbard plus. Can I get Chuba Hubbard in a second? Can I get Chuba Hubbard in the third? I think the consensus would have CMC higher. You know what? Let's just pull up KTC. Obviously, we like to use this as a weapon. Christian McCaffrey and then Chuba Hubbard. Look at that. RB19, RB21 now. It's not that big of a difference, right? But if your league is viewing Christian McCaffrey like that, see, Mike says, guy in my league wants the 106 for CMC. Obviously, you didn't buy it. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm selling him. I'm selling him every single day, dude. And if your league well, you have Christian McCaffrey. I don't know why I did that. Chuba Hubbard. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, if I can get Chuba Hubbard and a Calvin Ridley or Jalen Coker or Chris Godwin from this team, dude, I'm doing this every day. Because once again, I'm not a big CMC believer that I think this could be the fall off of everything, right? Who did I say? Chris Godwin. You probably can't do Chris Godwin. You probably do Chris Godwin and maybe like a third, or you can add something else along those lines there. Let me see what else you can add there. Where are you here? You can then do Jalen Warren. I'll be okay with that. Can you add a third? Let's put Jalen Warren. I'll even do Jalen Warren. Let's do this. Warren and a third. Plus a third to get that done. I think that's crazy, but, you know. I kind of like that there, personally. I'm trying to see who else. I mean, if he's RB19 in the community right now, according to Keep Trade Cut, you must be able to tier. If you're telling me I can get CMC straight up for RJ Hart, okay, look. Let me just put this there as well. I'll put this at the top. CMC, once again, your league is your league. 108 to the 112. I would do this trade right now, personally. I would take the 108 to the 112 at any point in time if I possibly can. And if you're telling me I can get the 108, which you just got for what you're trying to get, if you're trying to get the 108, right? You have if you can send CMC for the 108, you keep the 105. You don't even tear down. You get what I'm saying? Because then you can keep that and then still continue to build your team there. No doubt about it. I'm trying to see what else. Caleb, James. I would be willing to tear down. And for me personally, I really still like Joe Mixon. I like Alvin Kamara. I know Zach is going to bring out, or he already brought out an Alvin Kamara take. So definitely stay tuned for that. Or if I'm not mistaken, I think that one's out. I mean, I do so many graphics. It's crazy. Would I do Alvin Kamara and Devontae Adams for Christian McCaffrey? I think I would. I think I would do that. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting too hype. Alvin Kamara plus Adams. Devontae D Adams. Damn, would I do that trade? What does KTC say about that? Actually, let's use Zach's rankings. And then go calculator. We can see what Zach actually thinks about this right here, right now, even though he's not with us. Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, plus Adams. Yeah. So if that's an overpay, according to Zach, add the third. You know, he says, need to trade CMC. It's just hard because my running back room will be all rookies. Yeah, and I understand that. I think you can still be competitive if you're telling me you have Trayvon Henderson and RJ Harvey on this team, personally. Now, if you want to keep CMC and just have him on your team until the wheels fall off, I'm also okay with that. But if you're telling me I can make my running back room younger and get a first-round pick for CMC right now, which I personally don't believe you're going to be able to get one next year, then I will take that chance now in your league, Josh, because I don't necessarily see that happening at the end of 2025. So, let me know if you have any last minute questions. I think this is a good, nice little breakdown here for you, in my opinion. But yeah, Joshua, man, thank you so much for your support. Once again, I'll leave the floor up to you, but I'll give you the spiel. You should be receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. But yeah, man, I really like this team. I know Zach and I don't see that. Don't see eye to eye with CMC, but especially in a contender, I get it. It says the guy with the 108 really wants CMC too, so I might start asking for it plus Waddle and hope he's desperate enough. Yeah, dude, Josh, I think Zach would agree with me if he was here and say, if you have an offer to get the 108 for CMC right now, he would say you need to do that right now. That's what I would do. No question about it. So let's look at the guy with the 108 really quick before I go, just so I can probably draw up a trade here. Yeah, so he has the 108 Waddle and then CMC. I think we had this trade here. So let's work off this trade. Right? And we can take the 105. So if we can keep the 105, add CMC, and even if, let's just say, this is what I would try first. Sorry. I would try this first in your 304 first, and then you work your way up. Then you can go to, it's this way. Then you can go to your next player, like if you can give Warren. If you can then do, hey man, you don't want the 303, I'll throw in, why is this difficult? Hold on. Okay, that's why. You don't want the 3, you want a little bit more? Here's Jaylen Warren. You don't want Jaylen Warren? I can also give you, I know Zach wants to keep Tank Bigsby, but I personally will give Tank Bigsby up in a heartbeat if you're telling me I can still get the 108 in Tyler Warren or in Jalen Waddle. Personally, now you don't have to do this. I'm just giving you what I would do in options, right? I doubt you can get Aldrich Estimate. I doubt you can add any of these names here. This is last resort. The 204 is last resort. It's like, all right, can I get a pick swap then? So can I give you the 204 and then give me the 208, 207, right? Like if he says I need the 204, then I need the 207, and we will come to a middle ground. I don't want to just give it my 204 for Waddle. Maybe then that's squeezing it a little bit, then I'm doing too much, but that's what I would do personally. So these are the last minute ones that I think would be perfect for you. Now you can still do the 105 and trade back here if you really wanted to. But maybe this one just makes sense now if not sending the 204 and still doing that pick swap, actually. So let me add that pick swap here to Waddle, which I kind of did here as well, but I did the third pick swap. You can do a second pick swap there as well. But Josh, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hopefully that helps. Once again, I'll give you the spiel again. You're going to be receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system, with everything customized to your playbook that I drew up here for you today. But thank you so much for your support, man. I'll still give you the floor, as it is halftime in Oklahoma City, currently down by 12. And what is the box score looking like? How many points does Halliburton have? Where doesn't it say? It just says points. Okay, here we go. Points. He only has 6 points. What about SGA? What does he have? SGA has 19 points. That's just the superstar, huh? That's the superstar. Hey, it's all happening here. It's all happening here. I think we did all right, guys. Please, I think that's about it. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the NBA Finals. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I know it's just me, so a little bit more intimate live stream with me, because I know a lot of people love Zach, which is totally okay. They love the opinions. I'm the cool, laid back, don't really say too much, but then I'll bring it in, you know. But yeah, the next couple weeks are gonna be fun. We have a bunch of Dynasty startup drafts with you guys in the community, one Monday night, one Wednesday night, so that's gonna be really fun there. But we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys next week. Love.